Hello, and welcome to TFN's Hot Stock Pick of the Week. I'm Sarah Nunnally, editor of Material Profits Wildcatter. In the second most populated country in the world, 15 to 20% of power demand is not being met. Some 70% of India's rural households still lack access to reliable power supplies. Brownouts and rolling blackouts are common with outdated electrical equipment and tight fuel supplies. In fact, transmission and distribution and woefully inadequate generation technologies are pushing the cost of generating electricity higher than the retail price of that electricity. It has been estimated that it would cost $200 billion over the next 10 years to fix these problems, but that number could easily increase as a projected annual GDP growth between 7 and 8% could quadruple power demand in the next 20 years. A couple years ago, a pipeline stretching from Iran through Pakistan to India was proposed to help bring natural gas to an extremely tight market. Each of these three countries would build its own section of the pipeline, and the total cost to India would be $600 million. But that's just for the pipeline. The cost of this natural gas, when it begins to arrive in 2014, will be nearly as expensive as the liquefied natural gas India already imports. Adding more expensive fuel to inefficient generation will not solve India's power problem. The solution? Go renewable. India is a great candidate for renewable energy. More than 10 years ago, the nation received a $100 million loan from the Asian Development Bank to help alleviate energy shortages. The country's home to Suzlon Energy, a wind energy producer that put in a bid worth more than $1 billion for Germany's wind turbine manufacturer, Repower. But it also has great potential for solar energy. One company has just landed a $7.5 million deal to provide solar cells and modules to India. That company is Solar Enertech Corp. With a 42,000 square foot plant based in Shanghai, China, Solar Enertech has just entered a 10-year alliance with Jiangsu Photovoltaic Industry Development Company, a company destined to become the largest polysilicon producer in China. This alliance will allow Solar Enertech to double its current capacity production from 25 megawatts to 50 megawatts this year. The company then plans to be able to produce 80 megawatts in 2008 and 130 megawatts annually in 2009. Not only is this a timely agreement with Jiangsu, Solar Enertech's growing capacity will be needed for its latest contract with India. The $7.5 million deal I mentioned earlier could be the first of many. In an agreement announced March 26th, Solar Enertech will provide 2 megawatts of solar cells and modules to the Kandawal Group, a leading semiconductor company, for $7.5 million in 2007. But this agreement was made for 6 years. Next year, Kandawal will produce 20 megawatts of solar modules and 10 megawatts of solar cells. A further 20 megawatts of modules and 20 megawatts of cells will also be purchased between 2009 and 2012. As you can see, the increase in business from this one customer alone justifies the plant expansion in China. Headquartered in Menlo Park, California, Solar Enertech has also established a marketing and distribution arm in northern Silicon Valley and has teamed up with Infotech Energy Efficiency to supply components to the Chinese manufacturing plant. Remember, for this small company, $7.5 million is a large chunk of change, especially when the company is planning expansions into other markets. Besides the Indian contract and potential future contracts, the company also received $8 million to supply Shanghai Verysun Technologies Company with 2 megawatts of solar cells in 2007. Additionally, Solar Enertech sponsored an energy roundtable in Beijing, which was attended by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. As a result, the company secured a place in California's solar power goal of 3,000 megawatts by 2015. These strong long-term alliances are sure to benefit Solar Enertech's stock price. So just how much of a boost can you expect? The stock price has a short volatile history, and that's what makes this company a fairly speculative play. Currently, Solar Enertech is testing an all-time high of $2.18. But since January 3rd of 2007, the stock has risen 138%. We're seeing strong volume and increasing money flow into the stock, and both of these are bullish signs. My recommendation, buy Solar Enertech Corp at or below $1.90. The symbol is SOEN.OB. In the next 2 months alone, we could see a climb of 43% or more, and that's a conservative estimate based on the stock's previous performance. If we extrapolate from the rise since the beginning of 2007, the stock could be a 10-bagger in less than a year. For TaipanFinancialNews.com, I'm Sarah Nunnally.
You've just watched Sarah Nunnally make a pretty darn good case for investing in solar technology stocks. Maybe you didn't have a pencil at hand, maybe you just want to read up on the sector. No matter, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. Sarah has condensed her research into a very handy report I urge you to read. It's short, it's to the point, and even better, it's free. Click anywhere on the screen to access it, or simply cut and paste the link we provide in the side text into your browser. For TFNFinancialNews.com, I'm J. Christoph Armbruster.